Hi. Welcome to Super Zombie Movie Review Man.
Okay, here we go again with the shit. More of the title discrepancy bullshit that began with Zombie 2, which was actually Zombie 1. Then we had Zombie 3, which was a sequel to Zombie 2, only in name. Then we had After Death, which was released after Zombie 3 and rechristened in the US and other places besides Europe as Zombie 4, for whatever reasons. And then we have this film, Zombie 5, which was released the same year as Zombie 4 in Italy and originally titled Killing Birds, but released in the States and elsewhere a few years after Zombie 3 and 4 as Zombie 5. What the fuck? And I'm not even sure how accurate those dates are because some list the film as 1987, which would have had the film come out a year before Zombie 3 did, but some say it was 88, which makes a little more sense. Well, not really. I mean, frankly, the more I get into the release date discrepancies with these zombie entries, the more I don't know what source to believe. What's important is that it's all fucked up. I mean, what the actual fuck? The title discrepancies, the release date discrepancies, it's completely messed up. But anyways, Killing Birds, aka Zombie 5. The filming took place in and around New Orleans, Louisiana. It was the first time a zombie film had been shot in the US since Lucio Fulci's Zombie 2. The film was shot in the rural swamps outside of New Orleans, with certain scenes being shot in Fairview Riverside State Park, with Claudio Lattanzi directing and Joe D'Amato producing. Robert Vaughn, who plays a blind character in the film, was originally supposed to wear blue contact lenses so they could be digitally removed in post-production. However, the contact lenses proved to be too painful and they kept falling out. And how they would have pulled off a CGI eye removal on a low-budget film like this in the 80s, I do not know anyways. So producer Joe D'Amato compromised on a crude prosthetic and dark glasses. And as far as the plot, here it goes. In Louisiana, a soldier returning from Vietnam finds his wife in bed with her lover, and he kills them both as well as a couple of friends. But he is attacked by a bird and he loses his eyes. Blinded. Years later, the bodies have not been found and the former soldier is now a bird specialist, living in a house near the swamp. When a group of college students go to the swamp on an assignment to research a species of woodpecker that is almost extinct, they head to Dr. Brown's house to get some tips of how to find the rare bird. They drive through the swamp where they find the house where the murders happened and they decide to stay there. But during the night, weird things happen. Now, this movie is extremely flawed by unlikable characters and an annoying plot involving a bunch of college students. The film is ambitious, I'll give it that, but the screenwriters throw in a bunch of horror cliches that really go nowhere. You know, the kind of stuff that's supposed to come together at the end to prove something, but it never really pays off, because the conclusion is especially terrible. It wraps up no loose ends, and you are left wondering what the hell happened and why the hell the entire movie happened at all. It is really a completely unsatisfying experience with little to no redeeming qualities. I would fully recommend avoiding The Killing Birds altogether if it wasn't released later in the States as the 5th zombie entry, and I wouldn't even have reviewed this film for this series if it didn't contain a zombie or two. I mean, despite this title of Zombie 5, zombies only feature in the last few minutes of the movie, and only one character is attacked by birds. So even the title of Killing Birds is kind of nil, to say the least. This might be one of those situations like Halloween 3 where the title of the movie misleads people, so the movie gets a bad rap where it may have gotten a better one if it had been titled more appropriately. But who really knows? I divorced myself from the notion and watched the film as a standalone film, forgetting both titles, and the film was a tad bit better, but by no means a good film, but definitely an ambitious one. It doesn't seem like they just threw it together, it seems like everyone involved in production wanted to make a good movie, it just didn't come together as well as they had hoped. And don't get me wrong, it's not a bad film. Okay, it is a pretty bad film. It's stuck in this slightly less than mediocre category. So with that in mind, I think I'll go ahead and give this film a 3 out of 10. Sorry to those of you who liked the film a lot more than I did, but I would rewatch the film and see if you can see what I'm talking about. I'm not going to stress that you watch it the same way I did with 3 and 4, but I'm sure curiosity will get the best of you. So, I want to know your guys' thoughts on this film and the other zombie entries for that matter. And if you have any more solid info on the release date, inconsistencies, and, release title discrepancies, let me know. I'm always happy to perfect my knowledge of this zombie shit. Cool. So, Zombie 5, aka Killing Birds, 3 out of 10.
That's all I have for today, kids. I'll see you next time on another episode of Super Zombie Movie Review Man.